Hey, I'm Pat the Finance Man, and today we're going to be taking apart the Samsung French door refrigerator. The drain is clogged and Samsung is fucked up and they're screwy. So we already started it, basic stuff. You take down the shelves. This one here you just flip up. There's 4 screws. There's ones on the track, the rack that holds the shelves, and then there's 2 at the bottom, and the one at the top has a tab. So now I've gotten everything taken out. I put the food in the freezer. Some of it that doesn't have to go in the freezer and have to stay cold, I put on the island. One of the things you want to keep in mind is be very gentle. If you crack the panel, well, you're screwed. Now, so we've gotten down this far, and we're going to take apart the panel. I've seen a couple videos, and what brought me to make this video is I can't really find anything online that makes sense. So I saw one guy pull this cover off. Unnecessary. You don't need to do it. Okay, now that I've taken the panel out, be very careful. 2 items of importance. One is don't separate the styrofoam from the plastic. You'll notice it's one piece. Go easy. Use a rubber separator, or a very fine, careful screwdriver, flathead. There's going to be 2 wires, the white wire and the yellow wire need to be unplugged. They clip out very easily. One very important basic step I forgot to mention in the beginning is make sure you unplug your refrigerator. If you are uncomfortable taking apart the refrigerator, please hire a licensed technician. Okay, for the next step, and this is for one of the final areas of our discussion today, and that is down in here you can see the drain. Let me pull the flashlight so we can get in here. You'll notice that there's water here, but what I've figured out was there's ice behind this. So taking a blow dryer would probably work more effectively, unless you just want to leave this empty for a couple days or maybe 36 hours, and then I would think it would drain down. But we want to be sure that it's a fix the first time, so we're going to take a blow dryer and we're going to I'm going to see if I can probably just use the shelf to hang it on, and we'll just get this turned on, and we're going to kind of gear it towards the hole, and we're just going to let that run for a little while. It's something you don't want to leave. You want to stay around here in case there's a problem. You've obviously got electricity in your water. And let's see what happens next. Okay, the last step, and I had said the final step earlier, but it is part of it, is to make sure the drain's functioning. Now, a little history on my particular issue, and one of the reasons why I thought I'd share this to you today, coming from Mr. Finance, and that is that about 3 weeks ago, we felt the drain was clogged and we thought we had a freeze up, but you'll notice there's 2 drains here. The one on the left is for the freezer, the one on the right is for the refrigerator, and that's your pan where your evaporator is, and it absorbs the water. So when I realized there was a freeze up and we were getting water underneath the tray at the bottom of the refrigerator, which is common, that's the indication that you've got a clog. So when I took this drain apart, I realized that there's a piece, and that the Samsung designs it like this so air can't go back up and freeze up the drain. So I cleared it and water came out, and I thought, okay, problem solved. What I hadn't thought about was, because the water was backed up in the system, I then had a second step problem, which means that there was a huge freeze up in the wall of the refrigerator that we've cleared out today. The last and final step, if you'd like, is we're going to pour some water into the drain, and we're going to make sure it's working before we put everything back together. Oh, how do I turn this? You certainly don't want to put too much water in, but go ahead. We're going to put a little bit of water into the back of the refrigerator and make sure the drain's functioning. Yep, stop, plenty. Okay, there you go. Problem solved, but I wanted to share that 2-step problem with you. Okay, folks, we're all done. Refrigerator's fully repaired. You'll notice we put the shelves back. Most importantly, the Twin Cooling Plus panel has been put back. There were 4 screws. Don't forget the top and the longest screw and the bottom hold the rack. The smaller screws were down below here You'll notice them. Those are the smaller screws. Be very careful. Everything's plastic, some metal. When you're taking things out, it's not only frozen, potentially you can easily crack things. Follow and go carefully. Nothing should be forced. That's it. I hope you've enjoyed it. Have a great day from Mr. Finance. And tomorrow's video is going to be an oven gone bad. We had a short with an element, and we'll talk about that tomorrow.